Since I'm a very huge comic book fan, I always like to add little tidbits in my punchlines about comic books. So the line had to do it justice because they'll never be in my league. That's a play on words on the Justice League.
I like that one.
There's no plan, we heard you was slacky and I get that front end, back end, back end. I got your bitch trying to tap in.
Yes sir, yes sir, yes sir. It's your boy Tap Dub, and I'm back with another episode of the Tap Podcast. And today I'm here with a special freaking guest. He goes by the name of Raivon Dontez.
Hello everyone, my name is Raivon Dontez, killed out packaging, kicking my shit, all that good stuff, and I am here with Tap. So let's get into it.
Tap. How you feeling today, my guy?
I feel amazing because not only did my EP drops Wanna Play Volume 3, Let the Games Begin. It's on all streaming platforms, go check that out. But I have so many things planned for this EP that I'm going to be putting into action, and I'm just waiting for the world to see it because I'm about to leave people speechless. I'm about to leave you gagged. I'm about to have you staring at my screen like, what is he doing? When is he doing it? And how did that happen? Because I know that I'm the type of artist that have so much like in me that I could put into it. And when I go hard, game over.
It's over. All right then. Well, I love that. That was an amazing intro. You look amazing too with the fit, my guy. Show him the glasses right quick. Those is crazy.
You know, it's chrome. And
fire.
Yeah.
Fire.
But I'm never a gatekeeper, so I'm gonna tell y'all Amazon, $15.
Bang, Tap.
You don't have to break the bank to look like the
Free
bank.
game before we even got started with the podcast,
like
man.
you don't.
Like
I tell people, you don't have to break the bank to look like the bank. Like $15, $50. Shoes was a gift. The choker from Nasty Gym, $50. The chain is from Hard Jewelry. It's also $30. You don't have to break the bank to look like in the ring. Hard Jewelry. The bracelet, Hard Jewelry. Fire. Like you don't have to. I be seeing people that be spending like almost like a core note for everyday stuff. I'm just like, no.
Look good for the cheap, man.
Yes.
Look good for so it can be affordable. You know what I mean?
I like to call it bougie on a budget. Yes.
Tap right there. Alrighty, well, Raivon Dontez, you are on the Tap Podcast platform, and today we're going to be tapping into your brain, getting to know you a little bit more, tapping into your music, your artistry, and things of that. So if you're ready, are you ready?
Oh, I'm ready.
You tapped? Alrighty, let's get right into it. So I'm going to start from the beginning and kind of progress through the interview and get more in depth, and at the end we're going to have some fun. So let's start with, where are you from?
I am from the 513, Cincinnati, Ohio. I've been living here basically all my life. I do want to expand like to places like LA and New York because that's where I feel like most of my like aesthetic comes from, like and also London. Like a lot of artists, like especially rappers, I don't know if they probably look at like over the pond, but when it comes to mine, since I'm alternative, I feel like that's like a big avenue that I can go towards and a big avenue that would be worth looking into. Okay,
then. What part specifically of Cincinnati are you from? Do you claim a certain spot or have you moved all around?
So I've moved all around. So my family, they kind of like, as far as I remember, I was born kind of like Norwood. I want to say Norwood, Bond Hill, that area a little bit.
East side type ordeal.
And then like as I like grew, I've been to Coleraine, Mount Airy, Madisonville, Fairfield, and currently Forest Park.
Okay.
So I've been all around Cincinnati, and it's just like I kind of like know Cincinnati from the back of my hand because I have an eidetic memory. So I can only, if I could be at one place one time, I know how to get there back and shortcuts.
Dang.
So everybody always asks, like, how do you know how to get to? It's in there.
Yeah,
it's in there.
It's the memory. It's what's inside of you. So talk early childhood for us. What type of kid were you growing up? What type of parents did you have? Things of that nature.
So I was kind of the odd one out. Like I was the type of kid that was always into like superheroes and comic books and like anime growing up. Like I want to thank my grandfather for like the comic book side because he's like a nerd. Like he's all into like the Star Trek and Stargate and all
What's
that.
What's his name? If you throw it out there.
Lonnie Johnson. I love you, grandfather. Love you.
Shout out Gramps.
Yeah, so he like got me and my brothers, and because I have like two other brothers plus a stepbrother, and like he got us into like the comic books like very early on, like to the point where now I have like a huge comic book collection. Like I have trade paperbacks and they have different like omnibuses, and I have all of that because I'm a huge comic book head. So don't get into a debate with me because I'll bring out the whole thing, be like, okay.
Ooh, the vintage.
I'm that type of person. Like I have like comic books that go all the way back to like 1970s type of thing.
Wow.
So I'm a huge collector when it comes to that.
Valuable too.
Oh yes, I'm a huge collector because I like to read digitally sometimes, but I like to just open it and like put my phone do not disturb and just read my comic books or my manga or whatever and just be by myself. Like that's the type like I grew up on. And like as a kid I was always like kind of like I was never into like the athletics. Like I was never the like rough and tumble kind of kid. Like I was really quiet, shy, and type of reserved. And I kind of got picked on a lot. Like I'm not gonna lie, I was bullied a lot growing up. It wasn't pretty, but I had to like really find my voice and really find like my mouthpiece. And as I started to find that, I grew to like defend myself more and be more outspoken, and actually like tell people like, no, you ain't about to. Who you talking to? I may be 5'5".
Be more reserved, but this ain't that. You know what I mean?
Right. So like growing up, I was always type of that kid. But as I got into high school, it kind of changed because I've like really kind of grew into that type of social butterfly and kind of really.
So this high school, all right. So we're gonna get into high school. I want to keep it on the timeline. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So let's talk your parents. Did you have a double parent household?
So I did. So thankfully I did have a double parent household. It was kind of rocky because it was one of those things where it was. Like my parents kind of fought a lot. So I want to say I had like two parents in my life up until like preteens. And then that's when like my parents kind of got divorced, and it was my mom. Like she was like a single mom for a like good minute, and she held it down. Like, Mom, I love you.
Shout out my dudes.
Yolanda Johnson, aka known as Miss Dove. She's a hairstylist here in Cincinnati. Go check her out.
Tap in. We'll have her links below.
But I really admire her for that because I seen her strength during that entire time. Like she was working like 2 to 3 jobs to make sure that me and my brothers were straight. Like she would work night shift and then come right back home to take us to school. And she would literally just hold it down. Like she did the damn thing, and I love her for that, and always will.
Shout out to all the hardworking mothers out there. We really appreciate y'all more than y'all know. So, did your parents influence you on music at all growing up? Was they the first people to introduce you, or did you kind of get into it on your own?
That was, I want to say.
And when I say like into music, like listening to music, not actually like making it.
So, I remember my dad always like used to play like Tupac, Biggie, Buster, Twista, Eminem, all of them while he was like in the bathroom getting ready and shaving and everything. And I used to hear that a lot in like my household. So, it was like, whoa, what is this? Because like, growing up, and from like when I was growing up, parents would let you listen to certain things and won't let you listen to certain things. But my dad didn't care. It's just like, oh, you said that, but what is that bar? But wait a minute. It was some mixed emotions because it was just like, you are hearing these different type of artists, these different type of MCs actually just spitting and just like going bar for bar. And it's like opens your mind up like, wow, what is this? Because you had like people like Buster who was just spitting, and then you had people like Tupac who would paint like a picture. Like, and I really respect storytellers and like rap, because that is something that a lot of rappers sometimes can't do. Like probably can't paint the picture, or probably can't convey that type of like relatability to some people.
Facts.
And it's just like when I find artists that do that, it's that type of feeling like, wow, like I'm listening to you, and it makes me want to even listen even more, like, because you have different stories that are being told. And it's just like,
it like
wow,
invest you into the art a little bit more, especially with the personableness of what they're expressing. So I feel you on that too as well. I think I relate to you a lot on that aspect when it comes to like the music I listened to growing up. So was it So was it mainly like rap that you were exposed to growing up, or was it like various genres of music?
So when it came to my dad, I was supposed to rap it, but when it came to my mom, I was exposed to a lot of like R&B. So she would listen to Erykah Badu, India.Arie, Jill Scott, Mary J. Blige,
Lauryn Hill, man.
Lauryn Hill. Like she would listen to, and Bob Marley. She would listen to a lot of that. So I want to say I got kind of the best of both worlds when it came to that. Because when my dad got the rap and then my mom, I got the R&B and the soul. So it was just like, it opened your mind up in different ways that you didn't know that it could from a musical prospect as a child.
Right.
And I want to say also from my Nana, love you, Nana, Deborah, Miss Deborah, love you. But my Nana used to listen to a lot of jazz. So I got that type of world also. So it's just one of those things where I want to say musically I had a lot of influences and I am very thankful because of that.
Yeah, abundance of different genres and abundance of different music that you was taking in.
Right.
So all right, so you were taking in all that music. For the people who don't know, my boy Raivon Dontez is a musical artist. And so when did you become Raivon Dontez, like the artist aspect? Like when did that started to come into fruition?
So that, I want to say that kind of happened while not while I was in high school, but I did start writing a lot of poetry. So I started writing poetry, I want to say in middle school.
Okay.
So I started very early on because that was kind of a way to kind of journal like my feelings and how I felt about things or how I felt about life at that moment. And during middle school, I kind of discovered Nicki Minaj.
Okay then.
So, and at this time, I know, Mom, I'm sorry, but I know I shouldn't have been listening to the Pink Print album at my age. But
Was you sneaking?
Yes, I was. I was sneaking because my mom like kind of listened to Lil' Kim a little bit like early on, so she probably thought like, oh, another female rapper is gonna be the same. But no, when she heard I'm a monster, like it didn't play out. But for me, it was one of those things where it opened my mind up because I never heard somebody spit the way that Nicki does, like with the different voices, the different alter egos. It was just like something that kind of made me more interested in rap even more. So when I started writing poetry, it was kind of, I didn't know at the time that would slowly translate over to writing rap. But as I gotten older, that's what I was starting to do. Because my stepdad, Tyron Boat, love you, he was also a rapper at the time. He's not rapping currently anymore, but he was rapping at the time, and I kind of was a little inspired by what he was doing because he was like making music and recording and doing shows. I was just like, wow, I want to do what he does. So when I slowly kept up with writing poetry and kept writing, it kind of gotten more when I got into high school. So I was in 10th grade. I finished 10th grade, and then I transferred over to Butler Tech School of Arts. So when I transferred over to that's when I truly started writing raps, and I actually did a remix to David Bowie's Let's Dance. And my music teacher, Joe Janikin, love you. He let me do a remix to it, so I wrote my verse for that. And even though it was a beginner, I want to say I'm very proud of it because it kind of opened the door of like me actually wanting to become a rapper. So after I graduated high school, I did a year of college. I enrolled in UC. I was a psych major. It didn't work out because I knew in my heart that's not what I wanted to do. So I kind of like finished out the year just to say, okay, I got this experience, but I dropped out. And I really started doing music in like 2018. That's when I truly was like, okay, I want to do this. So I told my stepdad that, and he was like, okay, if you want to do this, show me that you're serious. Go find a recording studio to record in and make a song. So that's when...
What was that first song?
Van Surfing. That's a SoundCloud exclusive. Like, it's a SoundCloud exclusive. You gotta search for that one.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where I recorded it, and I was just like, wow. I look back on it because I'm just like, as an artist, you look back on the stuff that you first did and see how much you've grown.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's one of those things where I'm just like, ooh.
Yeah, it's cringy. It's a little cringy to you,
right?
Especially because the artist that you have grown into now.
Because I was like, oh my God, you sound like such a baby, but now it's so different. So when I first recorded, the first recording studio that I went to and still record to this day is Timeless Recording Studio. Shout out to Timeless. But I showed like my stepdad this, and he was just like, "Bro, you can actually rap," and because no one knew that I could actually like go bar for bar. So I just kept up with it. I kept recording. I released my first EP that same year that I started rapping. That's the one thing I can't say I regret on releasing an EP so early, because I was kind of inexperienced at that fact. Would I change it? No, really. Because I've learned something from it. I went through a lot when I was recording that EP. Like, I've lost friends because, like, when I was, like, recording an EP, you see... I want to say as you get older in life, you see people's true colors. So, when I was seeing people's true colors, they was, like, talking on the internet. And I'm not the type of person... I'm not talking on the internet for nobody, okay? You will never see me sweat. I am not about to be that person blasting on the internet. So, I was just like, okay, let me put it into my music. So, I put it into a song called Game Over. And that's me just venting, just letting it all out.
I like that a lot. Right. So I think before we get to like in the in-depth section, I'm gonna conclude the slightly tapped in section, which was the surface level section. But we're gonna throw a clip of your music in there. How about we throw a Misfit in the Mosh Pit video in there right quick? Okay. So tappers, check that out. We'll be right back with the more in-depth type section.
Meditating with my pen full of adrenaline land. Broken glass in my skin, I can never pretend. Misfit till the end, I never fit in. This is how it all begins, when you're close to breaking. How did I get here again? Talking with my demons, swimming in the deep end. So sick of drowning, feeling real dead inside space where I'm ghosting. Mental's on overdrive, I've been really spazzing. Try to keep it grounded, cause I'm used to spacing. Heart's always racing when I'm in seclusion. I'm so consistent when I cause eruptions. This is my countdown to my self-destruction. Whoa!
Yes sir, yes sir, yes sir. We back. That was the slightly tapped in section, and I hope y'all enjoyed that music video clip. If y'all liked it, make sure y'all tap in the comments. The link will be below. But now we are back with the more in-depth tapped in section with my artist.
Raivon Dontez, get up action, kicking my shit, all that good stuff. Let's get into it.
Yeah. So we dug a little bit on, or we scratched the surface, but now let's dig a little bit deeper. So you were starting to talk about like your tapes that you have out. You have a plethora of tapes out, but I want to more so go on to the trilogy that you have right now, which is the Wanna Play trilogy. Which I don't know if it's concluding, but at least it has made it 2-3 tapes. So can you talk more about the trilogy, briefly describe part of volume 1, 2, and then definitely going on volume 3, which is released yesterday?
So volume 1 is the first, like, that's the beginning of my story. So that's when I put out volume 1, this was me saying, okay, so this is me trying to find my sound, this is me trying to find my voice. And you can hear in volume 1 how, like, I was very uncomfortable in volume 1 because I didn't know who I was as an artist yet. So I just knew I just wanted to rap. That's why I knew what I wanted to do. But I didn't have my sound. I didn't have who Raivon Dontez really is. So this was me just really getting my feet wet, just trying to just find, like, swim in the waters of the music industry and trying to find where I fit in. And then that kind of lasted for a year. And I want to say this volume 2 came out when I was writing volume 2 in the middle.
Volume 1, I remember you said that that was when you first started rapping. That was 2018, correct? Right. So when did volume 2 end up coming out? Like 19 or 20? 20. 20, okay.
So volume 1 came out in 19 and volume 2 came out in 20.
Okay.
Because when I was writing volume 2, this was in the middle of a pandemic. So this is when I had the perfect time. Because everybody was inside, nobody was outside. Miss Corona. We're going to fight. But this is when, like, everybody was inside, so everybody had a lot of self-reflection moments. And that's why I believe that happened when COVID-19 happened, that whole quarantine. A lot of people had time to, like, reflect and actually look themselves in the mirror. And that's what happened with me, because I was not, like, happy with myself at all. And it kind of
allowed you to talk about it in the music, in a sense.
So it allowed me to, like, look at certain things, such as, like, we're gonna get a little bit emotional here, but during
that
that
podcast, we gotta let it all out.
But during that year, I was going through a lot of like body dysmorphia issues, so it allowed me to look at that. It allowed me to look at my music, and I literally like just stayed in my room. If it wasn't like going to work, I was literally coming home, lock my door, and just writing, and just listen to the rock and stuff that I grew up with, like 9 Point, Seven Dust, Metallica, Slipknot, all those. I was literally just listening to those and finding inspiration, and then that's when I came to the conclusion, like, no, I'm an art kid. Like this is what felt so comfortable to me. So Volume 2 is where I literally found my sound. I found my confidence, and that's where I found myself as a performer. And I also want to give a shout out to Cincy Playlist and A Million Magazine, because I did an open mic for them, and they actually told me like to go all out. So when I was doing open mic, I was going all out, and they just told me perform. So when I performed, I was just like, this is who I am, and this is where I need to be. So that's where the King of the Mosh Pit came out. So when the King of Mosh Pit, and that was like my first song that actually reached like 14,000 streams on Spotify.
Fire! Congratulations on that one.
Thank
So that
you.
was that on Volume 2? Want to play Volume 2? Okay, so this like, so not only did you found your sound, but you found your fan base too, all in the same tape. So that's powerful.
So that's where I literally found, I want to say Volume 2 is like my most successful project, because that's the first time I've reached that number on anything. So when Volume 2 came out, a lot of bookings came about. So I did a lot of shows when Volume 2 came out, and I did a lot of interviews when Volume 2 came out. My social media grew over time when that came out. So I have a lot of gratitude and thanks for that project. But also I want to give another shout out to Chris Turner, your girlfriend's favorite engineer at Timeless, because this is Volume 2 is where I like really recorded with him heavy, and that's the only engineer that I record with at Timeless. But that's when I told him like, I just want to go all out. I don't want to leave nothing left. I want to put it all on this EP. So when we was working and recording, a lot of those songs was very, very just coming from of I want to take a risk. And I'm so glad I took that risk with Volume 2. And Volume 2 lasted all the way until basically like it
like
went
recently,
right,
most of the sense, right?
And it's still going.
Yeah.
So a lot of people tell me like King of the Mosh is their favorite song, and that's the one that to this day I want to do something with. I know most people might think, well, that came out in 2020. Look,
music is timeless.
Right, a song may be old to somebody, but it might be new to somebody else.
Exactly.
We never know. So I really want to do something with that, because I said to myself, the one thing I want to do as a performer is I want to do a heavy metal like instrumental set. Like just have a rock band behind me and just going all in on that, because
rage,
right?
Yeah, I can see that really happening. And you would be the perfect person to embody that too. And I feel like once you get to that stage, it's just like you don't even you yourself, but you tap into it, like a switch flips, like it's performance mode. But I do want you to talk about the latest rendition of the Wanna Play saga, which is Volume 3, which released yesterday. So now you found your sound with Volume 2. You've built up a fan base. What does this project mean to you? What went into making Volume 3?
So Volume 3 to me means taking center stage and getting off the sidelines. So when I was creating Volume 3, I was literally not making any music at that point. Like I want to say I took a mid break, and I was watching everybody else. I was like, wow, everybody's doing this and this and this and this, and it's just like, what am I doing? Like, am I being productive at that point? So I told myself, I was like, okay, get to writing, get in the booth, and make it do what it do. And I told myself like I want to put my alter ego on to like center stage also, which is Killer Doll.
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask about that too, especially with the intro, that game start, because like I see how you was like kind of like going back and forth with like yourself in a sense,
right?
So that's cool. So keep going. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're fine. So Killer Doll is my alter ego. He is very brash. He is very blunt. He cusses a lot. I want to say he comes from Great Britain, but he lost his accent. So
hey, I love that.
He's very blunt. And when Killer Doll's activated, you see his red eyes. For anybody who see my Instagram photos and you see my red eye, that's Killer Doll like activated. So me and him are going back and forth on Game Start because he's telling me like, get off your ass and do it. Like, I've been watching from like your eyes, I could tell you're not doing anything. So it's just like me and him going back and forth, me and him having this conversation. And Volume 3 came about because I wanted to put myself out there, and I wanted to show people like, oh no, he's still here, but it's just on level 10. And the perfect thing I want to say about Volume 3 is this is me, like, you can tell, oh, I'm more than comfortable with my sound. I am just like, I'm there. And when it came to Volume 3, the one thing I said I wanted to do is I wanted to dig even more deeper into my metal side.
Right.
So when it came to tracks like Final Boss, Dragon Slayer, Innocent Destruction, you can tell from those tracks, like, I really dive deep into that. And the like fun fact about Innocent Destruction, the second verse, I initially did not know what to do with that because I was just like, the beat changed so suddenly. So I was at work one time and the thing about me, when it comes to, it's weird when I'm writing because I could be somewhere and verses just hit in my head and I'm just like, okay, wait a minute.
But you gotta like almost stop what you're doing to get that thought out, because if you forget it, then you done lost. You could lose the hit. You know what I mean?
So when it came to that, the one thing I can say is, since I'm a very huge comic book fan, I always like to add little tidbits in my punchlines about comic books. So the line had to do it justice because there'll never be a my league. That's a play on words on the Justice League.
I like that one.
And then the next line, now I got them shaking the Jordans and they Nike. So it's kind of a double entendre because you get the basketball effect, but you get the Justice League effect also.
Yeah, fire.
So when I'm writing, I kind of like to be very playful when it comes to that aspect. Because I know a lot of people probably may not think like that or probably didn't put those two together.
Yeah, exactly.
And not only am I a comic book fan, I'm also very big game. Like, I'm huge in the video games. Like the current series that I'm playing now, Diablo's Floor. If you have not played that one, you played it. But Diablo, I'm very into that. So in Final Boss, I really wanted to highlight that. So the line that I put in there is, I don't see no competition, all I see is NPCs. I'm that DLC, I make them pay if you play with me.
Dang. Fire. NPC, DLC, play. Dang, that's that'll go over your head if you don't get it.
I want to say I'm a lyrical artist, but I be hearing like there's one artist that I heard that's super lyrical, Sadistic. I want to work with him so bad. But when I work with him, I want it to be that type of beat. It's just like we can both just go
bar for bar. But we're having fun.
Right. And it's just, I'm the type of artist I like to include like fun things like that into my punchlines. Like including the track Rowling Out. There's a line in there that to this day, when I first heard it recording back, I was just like, the line goes, this pen is my Zampato, watching turn hollow. So that's kind of like a nod to Bleach, the anime. For anybody that knows Bleach, Zampato, your weapon, and it's just like, I'm letting people know, like, this pen is my weapon. I don't need to do the most online. I'm going to let you have it with this. And I feel like that's kind of a lost kind of art when it comes to rap, because you've seen so many people go back and forth online. And it's just like, put it into your music. Like, put it into your music. Because you can't sit up here going back and forth with somebody online. Like, I'm sorry. I'm not the type of person that's about to hop on live and scream at you on my screen. No, if I have a problem with you, I'm going to kill two birds with one stone. I'm going to put in some music and I'm going to get a check from it. Okay? I'm going to get a check from it. Because we are artists. We're mainly rappers. And rap was
for therapy too, to get stuff off your chest.
Right. And it's just like, I'd rather do that and put it into an artistic art form than have myself stressing about it.
Right.
Because that's what I feel like a lot of rap dudes do now, is stress about it and go back and forth with each other and do all of this. And
so we ain't got time for that.
Right.
We got more music.
Right.
We got more. We got Want to Play Volume 4.
Right.
To take care of.
And it's just like, that's the type of artist I am. And I'm a very big believer of artists supporting artists.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. And I remember seeing a post, somebody said, people want like new music, like, but my take on is, people want new sound, but they really don't sometimes. I think people want new sound from people they already listen to. Like, you can't want rock or alternative from Drake. Like, you can't want that. Like, if you want a new sound, you gotta
branch out to different artists and
branch
stuff like
out,
that.
because there are some talented artists out here, especially in Cincinnati, and I feel like it's so underrated. But also, you have so many talented artists out here, but I think the one thing that we kind of are stubborn about is supporting each other.
I agree. So, all right. So, in Cincinnati, do you listen to any other artists inside the city?
Yes, I do. So the artists that I listen to are Tori Helene, Paige, Tokyo Daniels.
Shout out Tokyo. I just interviewed
Diamond,
both Paige and Tokyo.
Yes, dope artists. Oh my God. Joe Eid and Jabi. There are so many more.
Joe Eid is
Light.
Crazy too.
Who else? There was somebody else that I just got done listening to them. Girl, she used to go by Girl Next Door, but I think she just goes by GRL. But dope. Oh, and Tiger Goods. Tiger Goods.
Tiger Good. That's a cool name.
Yes.
That's a cool
yes.
word.
And Tiana Dean. There are so much more, but those are just a few off the top of my head. Talented artists, and I've been
You plan on working with any of those artists?
So I've been able to actually share the stage for most of these artists.
Okay.
But there are all of them I want to work with, but there are some that I want to work with even more, because I feel like it challenged me even more.
Right.
Since I am alternative, so it'd be able to form those two worlds together. I feel like, for example, if I do a song with Paige, you got Paige, who's like whole MO. It's like, I feel like she has that perfect type of music, like you can twerk to, like throw down the wig and twerk to, like,
and it's real fun too.
Right, and it's fun. And I feel like for me, it'd be that type of thing. Like, you have me on one of her beats, and it's just like, whoa, like who's this dude with the choker screaming, and what is this?
I can see that'd be a crazy collab.
Right. So I feel like when it comes to that, it'll be even more kind of different, because you'll never expect that.
Exactly.
It's like be the ultimate crossover. So
That's fire.
Right.
I like that a lot. So while we still in the in-depth tap section, I got 2 more questions to ask you before we throw another clip of your music in there, and then we have some fun on the last section. Okay. So first question is, so you've done several shows. What's your favorite part about performing personally?
That I love it all, but my favorite part, I want to say, most artists may not choose this, but it's the beginning of it. So it's like the butterflies.
Okay.
Right, it's the butterflies, and I always had my music teacher tell me, the second you stop being nervous is the second you become unprofessional. Because you being nervous is showing that you truly care about what you are doing in that very moment. And it's just like, before I do a show, I kind of like to do my Brock Lesnar type of jumps. Like, I do my little Brock Lesnar type of jumps, because it's the one thing that I always do before I do that. I always do like my little jumps, make sure I'm good.
Like, get hype, like the blood flowing, get loose a little bit.
And so there's also a thing I like to do with the audience, because I love audience interaction. So I like to troll my audience. So for example, I'll be like, I'm kind of shy. This is my first, like, oh my gosh, I'm so shy. And then it's just like, I flipped it. And it's just like, no, I know I'm the shit. So who's ready to have a good motherfucking night? Like, I'm that type of person. So I like to leave the audience on their toes. But I'm also the type of person, I like to get off from the stage and interact with everybody. Like, I like to, if there's a certain part in the song, I'll be like rapping to you and just like, we here. that's what I like to do about it, because I been to shows of mainstream artists that I'm just like, this is not it. Like,
especially if you paid a good amount for
right,
it, you're like, I want to get a show.
Right. So I went to Playboy Cardi, and don't attack me, Playboy Cardi fans, okay? Because I know how y'all fan base is. I don't want to get shanked out in the parking lot, but I went to a Playboy Cardi concert because I thought it was a Rico Nasty concert. I wasn't hip to Playboy Cardi at first, so I didn't know what vamp meant, and I was just like, I got there, I was like, hey, okay. I went to the concert. The light show was nice. He's just not my cup of tea. His fan base, I've been in metal show mosh pits. His mosh pit, I'm just like, oh my god. Like I'm just like, y'all be trying to hurt each other. Like I'm just like, somebody got busted open like his ECW and shit. I'm just like, what the hell is this?
Hey, I ain't gonna, they be going that crazy at Playboy.
Right? Yes. Like I just be like,
been personally.
I be like, you had some dude like shirts of being ripped apart. I'm just like I'm in the ghetto. Why ta? Like
Hey, I gotta go to a Playboy Cardi show just so I can see what you experienced that day.
Right.
So thanks for answering that one. And so let's get into this last one so we can get into the fun section right quick. So music is a saturated market. What do you believe makes you different from other artists coming up right now?
The one thing I think makes me different is I'm willing to actually perform. And what I mean by that, I am willing to give you facial expressions. I'm willing to jump in. I'm willing to tell a story on stage. If I am able to, I will ask the promoter, okay, can I wear the straight jacket? Can I do this? Can I do that? Because I have straight jackets. Like I like to design straight jackets. I like to design stuff and everything. Because I like to give the audience something that they never experienced. Because I believe it could be your 5th or 6th show, but that could be somebody's first time seeing you.
Exactly.
So I want to give that person an expression like, so this is what he does every single show. This is what he does. Because I've built a reputation of being a performer. Like you have had people that came up to me and be like, they would see me like 5 years ago or something. I'm not saying 5 years ago, but it could be months ago, and they'd be like, I remember you. I may not remember everybody else, but I remember you.
Right.
So I feel like in this market, especially on the guy side, because on the women's side, they be doing their backup dances and everything like Beyonce. Right. But I feel like on the male side, it's just like, I think I'm more different because I'm willing to go that far. I'm willing to actually move on stage and give you face, and because I feel like when it comes to mainstream, a lot of the guys aren't doing that. Because I feel like, they'll probably have their entourage on there, or they probably are just like standing and probably doing a little move, but it's not that. I'm think like if you're able-bodied, if you're able-bodied, you're able to go, just do it. Because if you're like so in tune with what you're doing, it shouldn't matter. Like once I'm on stage, you can't tell me nothing. I don't care. I'll turn into a totally different person. All of that. And that's why I feel like I'll be most different. But also because I am alternative. So I like to blend punk rock, metal, and rap all together. And you don't see a lot of that. Like you probably see it, but it's not like mainstream.
It's not common at all.
Right. So when you have people that are like that, and someone who's like me who does all of that, but also is digging in deep into the art of alter egos, it's like even more different. And also, I know I'm saying also a lot, but I'm like to brand myself as having my stuff look real polished. So even though I'm not a signed artist, I like to make my stuff look like, well, he looks like he could be signed right now.
Exactly.
Whether that be from my photo shoots, whether that be from my reels on Instagram, whether that be from my TikToks, anything. I like to present myself as a artist.
Fire.
Because I work hard at this, and when you're passionate about your shit, you're gonna work hard at it. And you don't have to have all the money in the world. If you can find a way, you can find a way.
That's I ain't gonna lie, that's amazing. That was a dope answer. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
And that was probably one of the most in-depth answers to that question that I've actually ever heard. So with that being said, we're going to conclude the more in-depth tap section. and we're gonna move into the fun section. How about we throw another clip of your music in there? Sound good?
Yeah.
Check it out.
What? Story to my mom and dad that you ex a psychopath. I've been on a warpath, starting on a bloodbath. Yes, I just went mad. I've been going off a tab. I'm the worst they ever had. I just went and catch a laugh. Put them in a pit like Brad. These who's now again is sad. I don't even want to brag. Dilly moose that in my bag. God has me why they lag. I'm a Willie, make them gag. Competition's playing tag. Rapid fire with the mag. Bro, fantasy. Similar to deep in.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We back. Hope y'all enjoyed that clip of my boy Raivon Dontez music. Make sure y'all tap in. The links will be in the description. But now it is time for the fun section. So we went slightly. We scratched the surface. We went a little bit deeper. Now it's time to have some fun. So what I'm gonna do is just ask you some questions. This is gonna be a pretty quick section, and just give me your answer, and then we'll move on to the next one. Sound good?
Yeah.
Alrighty. So who's your favorite rock star? Period.
Oh, you'll be starting off hot. Woo! Oh, rock star. So you know what? I'm gonna go with an easy one. So I'm gonna go with Rico Nasty. I'm going with Rico Nasty.
Rico Nasty is a good one. All right. So what's your biggest fear?
Oh, you know what? Heights. I am not a big height person. No.
No roller coasters.
No.
Crazy
Like I like roller coasters, but if I'm in the air for a suspended period of time, I'm not with it.
Favorite anime?
Oh, Yu Hakusho.
Not favorite character from an
Kurama.
Anime. Okay then. Kurama. Psychedelics ever tried?
No.
No psychedelics. All right.
I like to be in control.
All right. Social media thoughts?
Oh.
Helpful, damaging, a little bit of both. What you think?
It's a little bit both. Because sometimes it could be helpful, but sometimes you gotta watch it because you have people on there that would try to bring you down just because they're not doing anything or they want to see you on their level. Like you could be in the field of meadows. You could be nice as a Mother Teresa, but you're gonna have somebody on there that try to bring your mood down just because they feeling shitty.
Okay then. Favorite anime villain?
Oh.
There's a lot of good ones out there though.
I'm gonna pick the one that I just want to punch in the face. Griffith off of Berserk. And you know why. You know what you did. Kosuke didn't deserve that. 30 minutes in the parking lot. Punch you right in between your bangs. Oh!
All right. I like that one. So if music wasn't your main passion, what else would you be pursuing?
Oh. You know what? I would say model, but at the same time, I'm classy, but I don't have the class for that to a certain point. So I'll probably say actor.
Okay then. Favorite season?
Spring.
Spring. Why spring?
Because it's not too cold, it's not too hot. I don't like winter. Yeah, I like winter for the fashion.
Yeah, okay.
For the fashion, because I live for a good coat.
Okay.
One of those, like I don't wear real fur, but I wear faux fur. So have a faux fur on, like I'm Cruella in the Ville and stuff, and just walking down the street like this. But
swagging with it.
Yeah.
So all right. So the moon or the stars?
Oh, I'm gonna say stars because it's so pretty.
Stars. Okay then. So what is your favorite cartoon?
I'm a 90s baby, so I came from the
era of
the golden era.
Yeah, the greatest cartoons.
So the one I'm gonna go with because it feeds my little black barbed wire heart is Billy and Mandy. Mandy is my favorite character.
I like that one. I like that one. So Illuminati, you believe in it? You think what you think?
I'm not trying to get murdered. So I believe in it, but I'm not gonna I'm a little nervous, but I'm not gonna air y'all out. That's not my business.
Okay.
What y'all do is what y'all do. It's not my business. I'm gonna be over here minding it, but I'm looking at y'all like, but they ain't not my business. I believe in it to a extent, because sometimes people be like Illuminati, I'm just like, child, it's just a dress. Like, ain't that deep. Now, when they was saying, like, Doja, they were saying, well, it's Illuminati. I'm just like, I don't think it's Illuminati. She might be having a Britney moment, but I don't think it's Illuminati. I don't know. But it's none of my business.
Okay. We'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at that. I got 2 more for you. So, relationship-wise, cuffed or single, or kind of like...
Single and loving it. Okay, I be seeing all these couples online. I'm just like, that's what y'all do? I'm the type of person, I could take myself to the movie theater, I could take myself to dinner, and the good thing is I'm like a cat. You put me with some good food and a good ambiance and leave me alone, I will be good. I am not in a rush for no relationship. I'm not looking for nobody. You know what? If the universe, whoever, whatever,
it happens.
It happens, but I'm not in no rush. I love being single. Okay, I ain't gotta worry about where you at. Like, no, I ain't gotta worry about nothing. I can stay out. I can be by myself.
Off the shoulders.
Right.
You gotta check in.
Right.
That, you feel me?
It's too much trauma. You be having all these people online be airing out their boyfriends and girlfriends. That whole Kiki Bama thing.
Yep,
I'm just like, this what y'all do? No. I like being single. Okay, be by myself, close the blinds, watch my horror films. Your pen. Right, with my pen. I ain't got to worry about nobody. And plus, I'm in my career right now. I ain't. I'm too busy trying to pursue me.
I like that. That's a big tap. All right, last one. Dream travel location. Where would you want to go?
New York Fashion Week. Sit right in the front seat. Except I'll probably be that one day catch with the paparazzi. Having a bucket of popcorn. Like, he can't eat here. I'm gonna eat here. But I send with Donnie, tell him, like, you want some popcorn, Donnie? Like, I'm one of those people. Like, I'm classy, but I'm a little sad of ratchet. Like, I'm the type of person you catch on, like, probably have the little teacup right going to each like fashion week. But also I would like New York because the food. I'm a bit foodie. So you take me to New York, give me a nice pizza, a nice donut, some pasta.
You'll be good.
I'll be good. I don't need much.
Hey, I like that. All right, so that is the conclusion of the more fun, little vibey section of the Top Podcast. Thank you a lot, Raivon Dontez, for coming through and expressing yourself in such a educated and you speak very exemplary. Like, you have an exemplary way of communicating, and you're very what can I say, vivid with the things that you say.
I'm a big personality. I didn't used to always be like this though. It was so different. So when I grew into my personality, I didn't grow into my personality until at least I hit 22. So when I
wouldn't even think that with just how comfortable that you have become.
But also I had to go into that aspect of I always had these 3 sayings: if they're not paying your bills, screwing you, or feeding you mind, body, and soul, their opinions don't matter. So I go through the world of that, and B, we could all be taken out one day. Like, you never know when the day is your last. So I'm gonna live it as me. I'm gonna be open and honest, and I'm gonna be the big personality. And plus, I get it from my mother. Love your mom. But
it's almost like you knew what I was about to ask you, because I was about to say, leave the people with some advice. You got something else that you want to give them? But that was just amazing. You know what I mean? It's like you knew. It's like
I don't know. It just happens. But I will say this. I'm going to leave a piece of advice for artists, and I'm going to leave some for the general public. Artists, I'm going to say this. Know your voice. Never be too shy to be you. And think outside the box. Don't ride a wave, because the thing about waves, it could be up here and then down there the next day.
Right.
Because the one thing I've loved about the artists that I've listened to in the city especially is I've been able to listen to artists who have chosen to stand out and who have chosen to actually be themselves as artists. Because the one thing I have seen so far before is you have artists that will play into a narrative of what the public think they should be, and it's just not. It's not them, and you can tell. And you can tell, especially when they perform. The one thing, matter of fact, Glorilla, love your Glorilla, but that BET performance, we know that was not you. I can tell you it's uncomfortable. What PR told you to do that? But I will say this for the general public, though. Show people love, compassion, because we don't have enough of that in this world. Because you have so many people that be going through this world with all that nasty energy and you want to spread that all around. Just show people love, be you, live, love, and live. Live. That's the most important thing. Like live. Because you have some people that's just scared to live. If you have breath in your body, if you are wake up alive every single day and live another day, live and go after what you want. Please go after what you want. Don't play it safe. You are placed on this earth to go after what you want, whether that be your passion, whether that be a business career, whatever. Go after what you want, because you never want to be on that deathbed waiting for your call to heaven and think, well, I should have did that. I should have did this. You don't want to go in this life with regrets. That's the one thing that will always elude somebody is regrets. The shoulda, woulda, coulda. Do you. Okay? Do you. I mean, look at me. Look at me.
Like that. Truly comfortable living in your skin.
Yeah.
And, I ain't gonna lie, that was some tapped advice right there. And I took a lot of pieces from that too. And we just had like a hiking trip today. So like, this is just, I just been getting filled with so much good positivity. Hey, I don't know either, especially how I'm feeling. Y'all won't even know that I went on an 8-hour hike today, boy. We keep it going.
See, I work out, but I can't hike. Mm-hmm. Like, you tell me, oh yeah, we're gonna hike. I'm just like, okay, I'll drive. I would drive. I'd be like a parent waiting in the car, like, you kids have fun.
It's like a relief for your mind and stuff too. But we have to figure out some stuff. Maybe you can come like on the next trip or something just to experience it. But Raivon Dontez, let the people out there know where they can find you and what you got coming up next.
So you can follow me at Raivon Dontez 97 on Instagram. I'm on Threads. By the way, thank you. Whoever thought of Threads? Y'all onto something, because I never had Twitter. So this is like new to me. But you can find me at Raivon Dontez 97 on Instagram, Raivon Dontez on Facebook, TikTok, Raivon Dontez 97 on TikTok. Okay. And follow me on Spotify, because there's a lot of people that be listening to our music as artists but never hit that follow button. Hit that follow button, it matters. But also I'm on YouTube, Raivon Dontez. But I also am having another interview coming up. I am planning on doing more shows. I'm planning on traveling. I'm also getting visuals together. I'm supposed to, hopefully, get a visual together for one of my singles. Okay. Undignified. But the one visual that I'm coming up with next is probably going to be for Final Boss. It's going to be amazing. Also, the concept is just
tapped.
Like, when I tell y'all are gonna throw y'all shoes. Anytime I say throw my shoe, that means a good thing. Like, if I say if somebody's wearing something good, they about to make me throw my shoe. Like, you gonna throw your shoe. So get ready to throw your shoes, because the concept for Final Boss, like, let's just say Raivon's been playing too much Diablo, so I might get a little influence. Okay. But Lilith,
can't wait to tap into that one, especially with that bar that you dropped for.
Like, yes, like, because I'm a big fan of video games and anime, so why not? Because I don't hear enough people doing that. And plus, you hear people doing it, but they're not doing it accurately. Like, you can hear some bars, it's like, that character didn't do that. No, that's, Like, those, but also, fun fact. So, if you saw my photo from Instagram with my yellow fur coat with the, that's actually a nod to Tekken's for Heihachi. So if you remember that fur coat that he had in the cinematic, that's kind of a nod to that, because this EP was very influenced from video games. That's what came from the name Let the Games Begin.
I'll check that out.
So check out Wanna Play Volume 3. It dropped yesterday. It's amazing. It's destructive. It's emotional. It's everything. It's like Raivon and Killer Dog had a conversation. It's just like, you know what? We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. And that EP to me is like one of my favorites by far, because it's one of those things which, like, you can tell I put it all in there. So follow me, listen to my music.
And all links will be below too, for you guys, just to make it easy for you. And Raivon Dontez got his social media set up very organized and professional, so it'll be super easy for y'all to get to these links And like I said, it'll be in the description, so even more easier. Raivon Dontez, I want to give you a special thanks for myself and the Tap family for you coming up on the platform once again and speaking that Tap talk, that good stuff, that really diving deep into the brain and letting the people know, you know, how you operate. And with that being said, I'm Tap Dub. Let them know who you are.
My name was Raivon Dontez, Kill Dog Packaging, King of the Mosh Pit, and thank you to Taps for having me on, having my little crazy misfit self on. And I want to also say shout out to all the alternatives, shout out to the black alternatives out there. We love you, and stay tapped with me because I am about to let y'all have it this year.
I love it.
Mark my words.
I love it. Hey, it's your boy Tap Dub, another simple episode of the Tap Podcast, and we tapped out. Peace.
Payments no playing, we heard you was slacking, and I get that front end, back end, back end. I got your bitch trying to tap in, I'm with that bitch.